Okay, students, this session will be about essay writing, right? Introduction into essay writing. So let us begin by defining essay. What does this word essay mean, right? So the word essay originates from the Latin. It means to examine, to try, or test, or weigh. So if you have any opinion or idea or some sort of theme, you trying it out, right? Testing it or looking at it from all directions, examining it, that would be an essay, right? Just a discussion or description or testing out of a certain idea, certain topic, right? So it can be defined this way: an essay is an attempt to test or examine one's idea about a particular subject, right? So the skills involved in essay writing would be close reading, analysis, comparison, contrast, comparison and contrast, persuasion, and exposition. Okay. Close reading is used when you are doing your research for your essay. Analysis is when you analyze text, analyze your own writing, your own essay, or analyze various ideas and issues, right? So in many ways, analysis is also used, and comparison and contrast is a comparison between two things and contrasting the two ideas, right? Uh, Pros and cons of an idea. Okay. Persuasion is all essays will, not all essays, but some essays are not just about exposition. Okay, exposition is explanation of a certain thing, right? A certain topic, certain idea, to explain it, look at it from all directions, and inform your readers, your audience about what your topic is about, right? But when it comes to essays, right, persuasive essays or argumentative essays, they contain the skill of persuasion. Okay, they will need the skill of persuasion. You need to persuade your readers to change their mind. After reading your essay, they will change your mind, change their minds about something, or go do something uh, as a result of what they have seen in your essay, right? So all these skills are used in essay writing. These skills are essential for essay writing. So essay should be to the point, have clarity of content. So in poetry, as you have seen, there is a lot of symbolic language. Things are not clear. Deliberately, they are not clear. That can't be true for an essay, right? This genre of writing, essays, requires very clear language. Your audience, your readers should understand what you're talking about. They should have clarity upon uh, what you are trying to express through your words, and they have to be to the point. Okay. So the main types of essays are narrative, descriptive, argumentative, and discursive. So a narrative essay will work just like a short story, like a story actually. It's a narrating events. It will have all the elements of a story. Okay, so it's unique in that way compared to other essays, because essays have to deal with ideas. So narrative essays will have stories with focus upon ideas or certain ideas that you want to express through these narratives. Okay, so but descriptive essays are you describing something. Okay, some event or something, some important ideas, a full description of that, right? And there are argumentative essay and discursive essay. These two types you will deal with. mm, these main types you will deal with in your syllabus. You will be required to write in your exam an argumentative essay or a discursive essay according to the question that they give you, right? So, argumentative essay, what is it? It means that you are arguing for something. It requires for you to take a stance on something and argue for it or against it, right? Both these types are argumentative essays. You take a stance and argue for something. For example, you argue for, mm, for example, you are arguing for use of cell phones in the classroom, okay, or against the use of cell phones or any media in the classroom, okay. So both of these types would be. It is geared towards changing the minds of the audience, okay, to changing the opinions of the audience. So discursive essay, on the other hand, goes into the discourse around that particular topic or subject. It takes a subject and discusses all the relevant issues related to that subject. So all the sides, all the sort of perspectives of that particular topic are discussed in discursive essay, right? So there are no arguments in here as such in discursive essay, but there is a discussion and on the information that is related to certain topics. So how to write an essay? We can just divide it into three stages. We will look at it as the three stages of writing: the pre-writing stage, the writing stage, and post-writing stage. Okay. So let's begin with pre-writing stage. Okay. Before I did not write it here, but can I ask you a question? What do you think is the first thing that a person has to do before doing any writing action, especially an essay writing? What do you think is the first thing that has to be done? First thing to do, first step in the pre-writing stage. First thing that a person has to do um, before writing, okay, pre-write is the pre-writing stage, is to research. You need to know uh, something about your topic. You need to be knowledgeable about your topic before you begin anything, preparing anything. Okay. So what you do first is to do your research, find out about the topic at hand, and brainstorm and jot down ideas. You can begin by all that you know, all that you find from your research. You can just write it down in a point form or mind map form. It's up to you what you prefer. Um, if you notice something about the human mind, a lot goes on in the human mind. You think that and this. All of you have some sort of knowledge on all the topics that are dealt with in essay writing, the usual topics. You have opinions, you have ideas, but they are all jumbled up, like uh, uh, like a curled up wire or something like that, right? So it's all jumbled up in there. So you just have to jot all the ideas down, okay, about the topic, and then organize into an outline. Try to write an outline in the pre-writing stage and try to structure it in this format: introduction, body, and conclusion, which your essay will be fleshed out according to that. According to that. Okay. So make sure your introduction. What will you say about the introduction? It should be about the basic theme, the kind of stance that you are taking, or whatever main point uh, that you make about the essay. Your whole essay should be able to be expressed through one sentence, and that would be your thesis statement or the topic sentence of the introductory paragraph. The topic sentence of the introductory paragraph should be the thesis statement. It can come in the beginning of the paragraph or at the end of the paragraph, doesn't matter. But that should state what the whole essay is about. You need to tell your audience right away, right at in the beginning, what your essay is going to be about, and you have to be able to do that in one sentence. Okay, I'll show you a sample uh, to actually for you to get an idea of what you're supposed to do, right? So then your body should contain at least three paragraphs or five paragraphs. It's up to you how many ideas that you have. Okay, your body should contain supporting material of what you are trying to say in your main point in the introductory paragraph. It has to exemplify in the sense that it has to all these paragraphs it needs to provide examples, support for your thesis, and defend your points. Defend your there should be points that to defend your thesis statement, your main point or your theme of the essay, right? So in the conclusion, you restate your points made in the introductory paragraph. You restate them and reinforce them in light of all the evidence, examples, and the support that you have given in your body paragraphs about uh, your topic. Okay, so in the first paragraph, it should be clear what this essay is about, and in the mm, body paragraphs, okay, two to three or five or seven, whatever, however long you want your essay to be. A five paragraph model is like the standard one. Okay, one is introduction, one is conclusion at the end, and three body paragraphs in the middle. Okay, um, so that is how you're supposed to do. Okay, and make an outline keeping this in mind. Okay, what you will talk about in each of these paragraphs. Paragraph wise, just write a line or make an outline that way. Transform your brainstorming ideas, the jotting down of ideas or mind map or whatever that you have created, you organize into a proper outline. So it is not necessary that you stick to that outline, because after you start writing, you keep getting other ideas and your essay might go somewhere else. So you can change your outline later. But beginning with an outline is very important. In the exam, you won't have much time, but this kind of organization is something that they are evaluating in your paper. So it's better that you turn to the last page or the rough page that you have towards the end of your booklet. Try to draft a outline. Okay, in this way, I will show you a sample of an outline too. So mm, try to do that outline and then uh, start writing according to that structure. Try to write it properly. Okay, so and then in the pre-writing stage, check if all your points have been made according to the um, outline. Okay, everything that has been included. We make sure that everything is there. Okay, cross check everything, delete any repetitions and unnecessary points. Okay, so this is something that I have picked up. Okay, about the some some example, right? Smartphones and students. Right? That's the topic. Some kind of question on smartphones and um, how how it has an effect on students, right? So, topic is this: the harmful effects of smartphones on the health and academic life of students. Right? Because the question is like write an essay on the harmful effects of smartphones on the health and academic life of students. So this was made before the pandemic. So uh, this PPT I just made before the pandemic. Okay, now the smartphone has become essential for the student, right? After the pandemic, so it's very not relevant, but take it as an example. That's it, right? So introductory paragraph, you can begin. Look, I have written the thesis statement over there. Okay, that's not a paragraph, a complete paragraph, but yes, the thesis statement there. So in your outline, you can just write about the main point of your uh, essay, right? The, so you can just write a look at the question there. The topic over there is harmful effect on health and academic life, right? So I draft a topic sentence or thesis statement this way. Smartphones pose a threat not only to the academic achievement of students but also to their health and general well-being. So that is what sums up what my essay is going to be. So your thesis statement, your introductory main point of the introductory paragraph should state everything that you will discuss about your in your essay. Okay, it should be clear to your readers what you are trying to say. Okay, what your essay is about. Then you can begin with the body paragraph one. Actually, this is the second paragraph, not the first paragraph, because first one is the introductory paragraph, right? So the body can contain three paragraphs. Okay. So decide what each paragraph is supposed to be. One paragraph has to deal with only one idea. Don't mix up anything more. Only discuss one idea per paragraph. Okay. Because there are two, three elements to what we are dealing with. We are dealing with health. We are dealing with general well-being. Okay, and when we are dealing with academic activities or achievements of the student. Right. So first paragraph will deal with health now, right? Detrimental to their health. Then you can talk about the blue light and how it affects the eyes and how it creates all sorts of health problems, leads to other health problems. All of that can be discussed in paragraph one, right? And the second paragraph can talk about how it prevents them from concentrating in class, the smartphone, uh, and and you can provide some anecdotal evidence also, right? For the blue light, you can cite studies from your research, whatever your articles that you found online, newspaper articles, uh, journal articles, scientific studies and research. All these figures you can add for blue light, uh, the effect of blue light in that, right? And you can add some anecdotal evidence. What is anecdotal evidence? It means just a story. You can talk about a story that can um, help your case here. Okay, so to make the point that it actually just is a big distraction and um, makes students unable to focus upon their work, right? And the third paragraph can deal with how it can lead to addictions. So it is talking about well-being here, right? So all these three topics that I mentioned: academic achievement, health, and general well-being. All these things are dealt with in the paragraphs, and each idea gets one paragraph. That is how you are supposed to structure it properly. This kind of organization is very important. Okay, generally you can just write whatever comes to your mind and all, right? Uh, but this kind of paragraph organizations and all shows your professionality and shows how that you know how to write an essay. Okay, make sure you do this in your exam, right? So concluding paragraph, you can just start with the line called and smartphones are and restate whatever you have already said. Okay, detrimental to the health and well-being. In different words, you can say that. Okay, detrimental uh, to the well-being of students and all of that, right? So Let's get to the writing stage. After you're done with a rough outline of what you're going to, how your essay is going to be, then you can start with the writing stage. Start writing, right? And these are the few things that you can remember about writing the essay. Okay? Choose the style appropriate for the kind of essay. From the question you are supposed to be, sometimes they will say, write an argumentative essay or write a narrative essay, write a discursive essay or descriptive essay, right? Sometimes they will tell you directly, but sometimes you need to figure it out by yourself. What kind of essay are they asking for you? Okay, if they if the question is something like narrate your experience visiting this tourist attraction place or Golconda or some place like that. Narrate your experience of going visiting this place or something like that. Then it means that they are asking for a narrative essay, right? They want you to narrate something, right? So based on the question, you need to be able to figure out the type of essay they are asking, and you need to uh, change the style accordingly. Okay, narrative essay will go as um, a story, and all the others will have, argumentative essay will have arguments, structured arguments, evidence for what you're saying, and more research going into it. But when it's a discursive essay, all the issues related to that issue, that thing will be discussed. Okay, so be formal and impersonal in your style, and be neutral. Okay, so this is how you're supposed to be in your writing. You need to be formal in your language, in the way you speak. You need not be on one side of the issue, but be very neutral, very objective sort of approach to writing. You need to write in a very professional manner, not getting too much into me and I. Okay, but you need to be very objective and um, begin the essay with a striking statement. So, in the introductory paragraph, along with the thesis statement, you need to have a striking statement or some interesting fact or quote or anything like that to draw the attention of your readers to read further. That is something very important because once they you know, read a bad or poorly written first paragraph, okay, introductory paragraph, they if they lose interest in the get-go, they won't read any further, right? So make sure that your essay contains something that acts as a hook, that actually hooks the readers in the sense that mm, it creates a sort of interest in the reader to read further, right? So use reliable source of information in the sense that don't take you know from your research like Wikipedia and other things. Use only books and scholarly articles and uh, material from the university and all of that, right? And as we are doing connectives also, right? Connective exercises and all. Next we will do that. We have a lot of connectives like firstly, secondly, however, or as a result of all these things are there, right? These connectives that will create a sort of a flow to your writing, one idea to the other. For example, if the paragraph one of the body paragraph will talk about something, and suddenly you jump into another topic, without any proper transition, without any however, therefore, or second, mostly the convention is to use firstly, and you discuss the first idea that you have. Secondly, you can just use these words for each of these issues that we talked about, okay? About the use of smartphones in the class. So these correctives are very important to create that flow. Okay. So what to avoid? You are supposed to avoid informal expressions and contractions of everyday colloquial language like aren't and can't. You have to write are not, cannot, okay, have not. All of these things should be fleshed out in a very professional, formal sort of language, nothing informal, right? And uh, don't focus upon your emotions. If you feel strongly about something, try to show it through facts, okay, through evidence, through proof. That what you say is important instead of using emotional language. Okay, people do not care about your feelings in reading. Okay, they care about the facts. Okay, and don't say exaggerated things like I hate Chinese products. I hate the Chinese and all. Your feelings and you, I and all is not required over there. Okay, you presenting the information in a very objective manner, in a very neutral sort of manner, will help your case better than you saying I and all. Okay, and don't use generalizations and cliches. Generalizations like all women are weak or some kind of generalization, stereotyping sort of language, right? You need to appear more professional than that, and don't use cliches. For example, if a topic is there, early breakfast, just a warm or something which everybody knows, don't just say that, but try to make it more a bit more interesting. That you have done more research, right? Don't use cliches. So once you're done with your essay writing, um, you fleshed out everything according to your outline, and there is some organization to what you have written. Your first draft is not your essay. In the exam, you do not have a choice. Okay, you only get one chance to get write it. But mainly in all the essay writing, first draft is never the final draft. Okay, you need to edit. You need to come back to it. Leave it a little bit and go at least a day or so. You forget about it and do something else. Okay, forget about what you have written. Uh, you know, maybe after 3 days also is better. Then you will come back to your draft and edit. Check for spelling mistakes, grammar, vocabulary, all this technical stuff can be looked at. Overall structure, is it good? Then you see if there are any repetitions in any place or anything that you have left out that you need to include to make it stronger and change the topic sentence. So, for example, sometimes when we write an essay, um, we have all sorts of things that we have not thought about while making an outline, right? And you add all sorts of things. So you have to change your topic sentence also according to that as you go on. So check for cohesion and flow of your writing. If one idea, after there is a logical progression in your ideas, one idea after the other, and revisit the outline of the first draft in the writing stage and check if all points have been covered. Okay, according to your topic sentence and your outline, if everything has been covered and everything is in the proper structure, you need to edit on that level, right? So refine and make any necessary changes in length, style, or content. Okay, is it too long? Is it too short? Okay, is the style not appropriate for the genre or the type of essay? If is the content okay? Is it too offensive? Is it too biased or emotional? Uh, all of these things you need to check again because sometimes we write in the heat of the moment, inspired by some certain things, but later on we come back to it and say, like, okay, this is not good. This will not be received properly by this audience. It's not appropriate for this audience. Or, many things come up and you will change your essay. Okay, so then you write your final draft, and that is your essay, the final draft that you have to submit, right? So we will in this semester we will look at two types of essays, the discursive essay and the argumentative essay. Let's look at what is a discursive essay. Okay, the discursive essay is a discusses a particular issue, situation, or problem. Okay, it discusses all the relevant issues. Okay, and the purpose is to inform the readers about the topic. Okay, being objective and neutral in perspective, with a neutral perspective. That neutral perspective objectiveness is not there much in argumentative essay, because there you take a stance and try to argue for a certain particular point. But here in discursive essay, you just discuss things. You make it more objective, and from an objective point of view, you cover all the point of views or perspectives attached to this topic. Okay, all the related issues are presented. Okay, the research required is quite less because general information is provided about the topic at hand, right? You don't go into details and try to argue uh, and nitpick all the things, right? So all the sides of the argument are expressed, right? So it's basically just a general discussion or explanation of a particular issue or problem or situation, right? And the argumentative essay is different in the sense that it investigates a topic. Okay, there are a lot of research goes into it, because every other thing needs to be discussed. Everything that is said about this is to be discussed and argued for. You take a stance in something. For example, you either support the point that smartphones are needed in a classroom, or you argue against it. You argue for it or against it. You take a stance and you defend that. You provide information, evidence for what you're trying to say. Okay. So body paragraphs should include evidential support. Okay. Factual, logical, statistical, or anecdotal. That anecdotal part I wrote for last because anecdotes are small stories that you say. It is not seen as professional as factual, logical, and statistical information. These are like something measurable, something logical, reasonable, right? But anecdotal evidence is seen as something, um, you know, uh, um, inferior to all of these, because it's just telling a story. For example, you can describe a story while you're sitting in a classroom, how because of smartphones there was not much concentration paid in the in the classroom. You can that is anecdotal evidence, telling a small story to support your point. Okay, so um, in the conclusion, it is a little bit different. You don't just restate the thesis or restate what you said in the introductory paragraph. What you do is readdress it in the light of the evidence provided. So, based on this and this and this evidence that I provided, it is clear that uh, what I said in the thesis statement is right. Okay, that is how you are supposed to end an argumentative essay. Okay, um, is everything clear to you guys?